Hey, you. Yeah, you. You want to be Escanor, lion, sin of pride. Well, I understand that. I do too, But we can't all, unfortunately, be that just, this. Just look at it. My God. It's so nice. So beautiful. It's perfect body. But it is anime proportions, unfortunately. So we need to go to actually a video game to see if we can get a better proportional style to what us mere humans are. I'm Justin, I'm your Reddest Panda, and on this channel we're going to figure out if different video game characters are actually attainable in the human body through training, nutrition, due diligence, that kind of thing. In this video, we're going to actually figure out some specific exercises to get closer, because let's be honest, the initial first reaction to looking at Escanor, the body is not attainable. He has a freaking 10-pack, almost a 12-pack. He's like 17 feet tall. He is huge. His waist goes down to this. Nobody's waist goes down to this naturally. Nobody. The first thing we need to look at is one of their biggest kind of proportions that you notice immediately. You might notice his gigantic shoulders, his delts that go out to freaking here. It's off the camera. It's so big. How do we get giant delts? Well, we need to gather the width. We need to make the delts, the shoulder itself, larger. We have three main heads on our delt. We have the front, the lateral, and the rear delt. There's a bunch of other muscles in there for people who want to get real specific with it. That's fine. I don't care about your rotator cuff muscles at the moment. I just want size overall. How do we increase size? Load. Exercises that load those muscles so they can break down and build up bigger. Now, come on over to my dark corner of the gym. The lighting makes me look terrifying. So one of my favorite exercises to gain some size on the lateral side of our shoulder are going to be a side raise. Step back here, sweep outside with a straight arm. We're about parallel, all right? If you're doing this correctly, you shouldn't really be able to get your shoulder higher than that, because if you're actually activating your shoulder, it kind of stops itself at about 90 degrees. If you're suddenly activating your trap, which is like your neck down to your, where I think these gigantic muscles are here, sorry about that, then you can actually go up higher. But we don't want to do that because we want to target that specific muscle on our shoulder. So out to the side, relatively heavy weight on these, but not heavy enough where you suddenly have to cheat with your body. Those reps are important. You want to do those, but not in this instance right now. We want to be controlled, time under tension, nice, slow, and controlled. On both sides, you can do them both at the same time, totally fine there. The next exercise, we'll target our front delt. It's going to be a front raise. Same concept. If you're activating that shoulder well enough, you should be able to stand straight up, push that out, and suddenly that arm can't go any higher because the weight, one, is dragging you down, and two, contraction of that muscle is stopping the actual arm from going any farther, the range of motion. Now the rear delt's kind of tricky because you tend to really gather a lot of your trap and some of the, even up your upper lat, which is like this large muscle on your back, to compensate for that muscle because it tends to be a little weaker than everything else. You can do bent over raises, so like a lateral raise, but instead we're going to bend at the waist, push our butt back, so our back's nice and flat to the floor. We're gonna raise that dumbbell out and try to squeeze our shoulder blades together. It works best with two dumbbells. I don't know why I'm showing you with just one, I just am. Those are three that cover the head of the shoulder. That's a really great way to get very specific on those muscles, but a really great way for total body is gonna be the overhead press. Now for the overhead press, I do recommend standing towards the rack, so it's a lot easier to actually rack it and unrack it when you're here, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to come out of the rack towards you so you can kind of see the movement itself. And it'll also give you a little to turn around and show you the real way too. Yeah. Or step up underneath the barbell itself, tighten our core, make sure that those are around your shoulders. Probably want this a little higher, to be honest with you, for the setup itself. Our elbows don't have to be all the way forward like a front rack for a clean. From here, we want to be strict with this, so we want to squeeze our butt, activate our core, and push straight overhead. Straight overhead, try to get our biceps to our ears, and I apologize if that is just drilling the mic right now. The cool thing with the overhead press is we can load a lot more weight on that because it's utilizing a lot more of your body. You can even do a push press where you drive a little bit with your legs too, to get some extra help and really to push a lot more weight at the top end of range of motion. Now, as promised, here's the back view. Again, underneath a bar, squat down and get into it. Stand straight up by activating your core and pressing up. Nice wide stance, squeezing your butt together, grabbing that core, pushing it down and in, and then pressing right overhead. The next part we'll really see accentuated is his chest. All right, there are a lot of ways to grow the chest, but the best ways is going to be the deepest range of motion. That can be something like a really deep push-up. It's on elevated, but you're still in a horizontal plane. You're not actually vertical like on a bench or something, because we want to get a really deep stretch on that chest. Or the best and truest way to really grow the chest is going to be a bench press variety. Typically barbell bench press. You can also use dumbbells. I'm going to show you a dumbbell bench press just because it's easier. And I have a bench right here and dumbbells right there. Now with this, we want to make sure we push back on the bench itself, get set up first, bracing our core, pressing through the floor itself, and then pressing through the ceiling with our arms at roughly 45 degrees. So when we do this, nice big stretch at the bottom. We don't want to cheat these reps, okay? Bam, bam. All right. Catch my breath. The next part you really see accentuated is his core. It is just stacked. And unfortunately, no exercise is going to help you with that. That is pure genetics. That's going to be something that, one, you have to be 17 feet tall to be able to have the ab length likely, and probably an even extra set of vertebrae, if not abs, to get that separation. And the next from that, though, to get abs in general, you need diet. That it all comes in the kitchen, unfortunately. It's not something we can truly fix or gain definition in within the gym, with the exception of getting your core stronger through different core movements, like planks, weighted sit-ups, that kind of thing. Now going to the rear of Escanor, we all know what we're looking at here. His back, it's huge, massive. Equally as impressive as his front. You know, his lats, you can see every piece of his trap. His trapezius is this giant, cool trapezoidy looking muscle here. It's amazing, all right? Along with his rear delts and his lats that go down to a V formation. That is, unfortunately, a lot of that can kind of come down to body type, mesomorph, exomorph, that type of thing, and genetics. But, because we all kind of hold our dispositions differently, like I hold all my weight in my trunk, and it's straight in a block. I have a boxy trunk. I don't have a defined V. Unless I got down to very, very tiny percent body fat, and even then, I think I need to be a very tiny weight to be able to get there with my body style. It's going to be kind of boxy no matter what. But to work your back, there are a lot of different things you can do. You can do pull-ups, you can do bent over rows, you can do barbell rows. I did a bunch of barbell rows today in our workout. You might be wondering, where are you at? What gym is just empty letting you record? Well, it's my gym. Well, it's actually my wife's gym. But we own a gym. It's called Iron Family Fitness. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love it. And this lighting is fantastic. Wow. And if we're trying to get mass and width on a muscle, we want to load it proportionally to what we are able to capably hold and do safely, okay? That's the biggest thing with lifting. A lot of people don't necessarily understand. We want to get the biggest we possibly can. We have to be the safest we possibly can at the same time, because otherwise injuries just put you back. You know, you want to be able to lift for tomorrow, for next week, next month, next year, okay? You don't want to be able to lift really heavy today, not be able to walk tomorrow. You know, it's not smart. It's not longevity-wise. We don't want to do that. Unless you're pushing world records and that kind of thing, different thing altogether. That's a different sport. If you're driving for sport, completely different. But if you're driving for just to be healthy, be as big as you possibly can be, and be as strong as you possibly can be, you're gonna have to figure out how to do that safely along with pushing yourself each session. Now, bent over row is a really, really wonderful exercise, but it tends to be done a little incorrectly because a lot of people round their backs when they do it. We're gonna start the barbell hanging in position here. We're gonna push our butt backwards, get our back nice and parallel to the floor as close as we can. The bar itself doesn't really hang any farther than our midfoot. And we want to actually curl or turn our elbows in and drive our elbows up and back so we can actually get a really nice contraction on that giant lat muscle back there. And stand up. Now that will build a ton of just global strength and size in those muscles in your back. Now, all this has come to tell you, you're not going to get exactly like Escanor. Let's be honest here. This all comes down to genetics, disposition of how you handle weight, and your own training styles. With these, you want higher reps to get hypertrophy, nothing crazy like 20 or anything like that. We're going to be probably in the 6 to 15 range, depending on the exercise. Smaller muscles, they can be trained a little longer, easier, and recover faster. So you can do sets of 15 over and over again without any problems. Big muscles like your lats, your chest, you can do those, but you tend to be a lot smaller sets comparatively, or the weight's so drastically decreased that suddenly you're not really hitting that hypertrophy wall you want. the biggest thing we want is just load under intensity and pressure to be able to grow those muscles over time. You should be a little sore. It's just what's going to happen, okay? But make sure you're staying hydrated, make sure you're eating well and eating enough. That's kind of the key things there too. And maybe one day you can get closer, like somebody you may or may not know, but closer to Escanor. What video game character should I do next and break down some of their physiques, along with I'll give you some really close exercises that you can do to get closer to that body style. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.